Good morning, class. In this video, I'm going to talk about an important aspect of English grammar and English language, of course, which is known as ambiguity. Ambiguity, as you see here, in a very simple terms, is the multiplicity of the meaning. When a word or a sentence or a clause or a phrase has more than one meanings, it is known as ambiguous. A word is ambiguous in case it has multiple, more than one meanings, right? And this ambiguity is very interesting to study. Now, as you see here, there are mainly two types of ambiguity. One is structural ambiguity, and the second is lexical ambiguity. Structural ambiguity is the ambiguity that is created, multiplicity of meaning which is created because of the structure of a particular clause or structure of a particular sentence. And the second type of ambiguity is known as lexical ambiguity. Lexical is related to the meaning of a word. When a word, say for example, bank. Now this word bank, B-A-N-K, has two meanings. One is bank as the financial institute where one goes to deposit the money or withdraw money, etc. Right, for loans. So that bank, and say bank of the river, Nadi Kinara. Right. So here bank is a word that is ambiguous. It has more than one meanings. So if in a phrase or in a sentence, in a clause, a word is there that creates such type of multiplicity of the meanings, it is known as the lexical ambiguity. Here on this slide there are some examples of structural ambiguity and lexical ambiguity. Structural ambiguity, it can be defined as, or it can be explained as, sentence structure gives more than one meanings. So here sentence structure gives more than one meanings, and lexical ambiguity happens when a word has multiple meanings, so the sentence becomes ambiguous. For example, now let us see the structural ambiguity. Here the sentence is, he gave her dog biscuits. Okay, so this is the sentence, he gave her dog biscuits. Now let us see what kind of ambiguity is created because of different structural analysis of this sentence. For example, if we make the structure like this, he subject, gave verb, her indirect object, and dog biscuits direct object. Okay, so he is the subject, gave verb, her indirect object, and dog biscuits direct object. Now what is the meaning of this sentence? This subject he gives something to a girl, that is indirect object. And what is that he gives is the dog biscuits. Now what are these dog biscuits? The biscuits that are made for dogs. कुत्र्यांचे बिस्किट. या वाक्याचा अर्थ काय होतो? त्याने तिला कुत्र्यांची बिस्किटे दिली. Now this is very funny. He gave the girl biscuits made for dogs. Now why this meaning is there? Because we made the structure like SVOO. Now let us try to put it another way. Structure second. Now this time it is something good. What happens? He subject gave verb her dog, तिचा कुत्रा. त्याने तिच्या कुत्र्याला दिलं. काय दिलं? बिस्किट्स. ओके. He gave biscuits to her dog. So here we have changed the structure slightly. In the first structure, her was the indirect object. Now in the second structure, her dog was the indirect object and biscuits direct objects. Whereas in the earlier sentence, dog biscuits was the direct objects. So this is something very interesting. Now this sentence means something different. No, it's a normal thing. त्याने तिच्या कुत्र्याला बिस्किटं दिली. याचा अर्थ काय झाला? इट इज समथिंग टेरिबल. त्याने तिला कुत्र्यांची बिस्किटं दिली. नो वाय दिस ॲम्बिग्विटी? ॲम्बिग्विटी म्हणजे मराठीमध्ये संदिग्धता. नो वाय दिस हॅपन्स? बिकॉज ऑफ द स्ट्रक्चर. सो दिस इज नोन ॲज द स्ट्रक्चरल ॲम्बिग्विटी. Now let us turn to the second type of ambiguity, that is the lexical ambiguity. Lexical ambiguity is a word has multiple meanings, so the sentence becomes ambiguous. एखाद्या शब्दाचे अनेक अर्थ असू शकतात, म्हणून वाक्य पण काय होते? संदिग्ध बनते, ambiguous बनते. For example, as I told you earlier, the word bank has two meanings. Now let us talk about this sentence. They reached the bank late. They reached the bank late. Now here the word bank is ambiguous. Okay. Here the word bank is ambiguous because it means river bank. It also means financial institution. So the sentence is ambiguous. We don't know for sure whether they reached the bank of the river late or they reached the bank, which is a financial institution, late. So this happens because of the lexical ambiguity. Now here are some other sentences. The police killed the terrorists with rifles. The police killed the terrorists with rifles. Here the structure is, now this is a case of structural ambiguity. The police subject, killed verb, the terrorists object, and with rifles adverbial. पोलिसांनी अतिरेक्यांना रायफलीने मारले. The police killed the terrorist with the help of rifles. Because the structure is S plus V plus O plus A. Here object is the terrorists. आणि कसं मारलं? मॅनर काय आहे? बंदुकीने मारलं. कोणाला? अतिरेकांना. The police killed the terrorists with rifles. So this is one structure. And this is the meaning of this structure. Now let us see another structure. The same sentence can be written like this. The police killed the terrorists with rifles. आता इथं काय आहे स्ट्रक्चर? येस, सब्जेक्ट इज द पुलिस, किल्ड वर्ब, द टेररिस्ट विथ रायफल्स इज ऑब्जेक्ट. आता हे द टेररिस्ट विथ रायफल्सचा अर्थ काय होतो? पोलिसांनी कोणत्या अतिरेक्यांना मारलं? ज्यांच्याजवळ बंदुका होत्या. फॉर एक्झाम्पल AK-47 रायफल्स. पोलिसांनी अतिरेक्यांना मारलं. कोणत्या अतिरेक्यांना? ज्या अतिरेक्यांजवळ बंदुका होत्या. द पुलिस किल्ड द टेररिस्ट हू वेअर कॅरिंग रायफल्स विथ देम. आणि पहिल्या वाक्यामध्ये काय आहे? ह्या रायफल्स बिलॉंग टू द पुलिस. पोलिसांनी या टेररिस्टला मारलं. वी डोंट नो त्यांच्याजवळ रायफल होते की नाही, पण दिस ॲडव्हर्बियल इज रिगार्डिंग द पुलिस. यांच्याजवळ हे होतं विथ द हेल्प ऑफ रायफल्स. पण द सेकंड स्ट्रक्चर मीन्स द पुलिस किल्ड दोज टेररिस्ट हू वेअर कॅरिंग रायफल्स विथ देम. अँड द एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ दिस इज अ केस ऑफ structural ambiguity. So this is something very interesting. Okay. Now let us talk about lexical ambiguity. For example, with the help of this example, Romans built this way. Suppose the sentence is Romans built this way. आता हे रोमन म्हणजे कोण? रोमन लोक. Romans built this way. आता याचा अर्थ, now this in this sentence this is a case of lexical ambiguity, कारण की वे जो शब्द आहे तो ambiguous आहे. कसा? याचा पहिला अर्थ रोड होतो, रस्ता, आणि दुसरा अर्थ वेचा होतो मॅनर, पद्धत. म्हणजे मीनिंग वन काय असू शकते? द रोमन्स बिल्ट दिस वे ऑर रोड. हा जो रस्ता आहे, हा मार्ग जो आहे तो रोमन लोकांनी बांधला. आणि दुसरा अर्थ काय असू शकतो? मीनिंग टू, दिस इज द रोमन स्टाईल ऑफ आर्किटेक्चर. आपल्याला माहिती आहे वेगवेगळ्या स्थापत्यशास्त्रामध्ये वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे काय असतात? मॅनर असतात, पद्धती असतात. तर इथं इन द सेकंड सेंटेन्स द हा वेचा अर्थ काय होतो? मॅनर, पद्धत. की रोमन लोकांची बांधकामाची, स्थापत्यशास्त्राची स्टाईल ही होती. रोमन लोक त्यांच्या बिल्डिंग असतील, काय जे असेल ते ह्या पद्धतीने बांधत होते. दिस इज द रोमन स्टाईल ऑफ आर्किटेक्चर. म्हणजे दिस इज द केस ऑफ लेक्सिकल ॲम्बिग्विटी बिकॉज द वर्ड वे हॅज these two meanings. Either it means road or manner. Right. So in short, this is something about ambiguity. We will talk about ambiguity more in our next video. Thank you.